Today, what we are going to talk about is how to prevent pain or tweakiness in your shoulders when you're doing planks or when you are doing push-ups. Hello, and welcome back to Movement in Science. This channel is the place that you come to get all the information to get rid of your pain or increase your athletic performance. If you haven't checked out our previous video, we talked about how to get rid of wrist pain when in these positions. So check that video out if you have issues with that as well. When I'm coaching or when I am in class, a lot of times I have people who say that their shoulders hurt when they're doing plank positions, when they're doing push-ups, or when they're doing basic yoga poses or going into a series of movements in yoga. So the reason why is your shoulder is not in a safe place. We talk about posture a lot at Movement in Science. If your posture and alignment isn't correct, then when you get down into these movement patterns and you're doing these exercises, you may feel some pain because your joint is not positioned correctly. A perfect example of this is if you are at your desk a lot and your shoulders start to roll forward and you have this type of posture where the back is rounded and the shoulders are coming forward. Well, then when you get into your push-up or your plank position, your shoulders are up and rotated inward. So we need to make sure that we get the shoulders down and back and then isolate them by activating the muscles in that joint. So let's get down onto the floor. I'm gonna show you a little bit of what it is that I'm talking about. And if you wanna do this along with me, awesome sauce. Let's go. Okay, so now that we're down on the floor, we're gonna talk about how to get that shoulder into position. So first is to be aware. We've already talked about when the shoulder comes forward and internally rotates, the palms come backwards while you're standing. That isn't ideal when you start to add weights because you're just going to perpetuate that very poor movement and poor posture. So the first thing is just practicing opening up the chest by externally rotating the shoulder or the arms, so bringing the arms out and then pushing the arms down and back. So with this position, you can already feel the muscles in your back engage and then your neck opening up. So this is pretty much the starting place when you get down into your push-up or your plank positions. Now, how do you do that? It's easy to just do this while you're in a sitting position or a standing position because your joints aren't moving. So in order to do that when you're in your plank or when you're in your push-up, we have to follow a couple of steps. This is the traditional way you'll see people starting a plank or a push-up. They'll start from the floor up. But if you're not ready, then that can be really challenging to get into the correct position. I like to coach coming from a tabletop position, making sure that the hands are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. Notice here how I'm bringing the arms out and in. When people are not strong enough, they have a tendency of bringing the elbows out and they'll dip into the shoulders to get that full push-up or plank. Driving the elbows back really protects that joint, your shoulder joint. And then you notice I kind of leaned forward, and that is another way where I can ensure that I'm protecting my shoulder. And then you just extend the feet back. With the idea is to lean forward, make sure that shoulder is in the right position by activating the lats and really activating the muscles in the back. This is just a different view. You can see how my hands are shoulder width apart and my fingers are spread out nice and wide, and I'm using my entire palm. So I want to show you guys how easy it is to not put your hands in the proper position when you're laying down. I did this and I didn't notice until post-production. So as I put my hands down, you see that they are way behind my shoulders and they are too far apart. You'll really be able to see that once I extend up. You see how wide that is? And I realized that, and I came in, once I did my tabletop position, I was able to readjust. I came in probably 2 or 3 inches on each side. And then I was able to get an idea of like, okay, I need to adjust. So I wanted to show you that even me as a professional, I make the mistake as well. Again, these are the little tricks of the trade to protect the shoulders. It's the small little pieces. That's how to protect your shoulders when you are doing any type of plank, push, or movements in yoga. If this helped you, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We also have another video with other basic movement patterns that I think you'd find really useful. I'll leave that up there in the cards for you. Again, thank you so much for visiting Movement in Science. I hope this was helpful. If you have other videos or other questions that you would like for me to answer, leave comments below. I love interacting with you guys and you letting me know how I can help. Check these videos out that I've recommended for you, and also take a look at some of my personal favorites.